imagine it's like for an opposing player when Bradley is harassing him on defense?
I don't know. I mean, you know it's coming, and I'm sure they're warned by it. And some guys do pretty well and some guys don't, but it would be no fun.
Why do you think more players don't play defense the way he does?
Because they don't have the ability. You got to have great instincts, great speed. It takes a lot of things. It's not just I'm going to be a great defender, because I think if it was just that, it would be more.
How much of it is desire, though? He's willing.
It is a lot, but it's also you just have to have great everything. You have to have great feel, great feet, great instincts, great strength. It just takes a lot.
Doc, on defense, what have you seen from the zone the last 4 games?
It's been good. We just keep running it. We don't do it in long periods. We have the last couple. And a lot of that has been situational. Kevin was in foul trouble. Jet was struggling defending. So we were trying to hide them in some ways. But a lot of times it's just the team scores 5 times in a row, throw zone on them for twice, and then get back to man just to throw them out of rhythm.
I mean, all of the principles you're using, these guys seem to be absorbing it pretty well.
Yeah, we work on it. We even when we don't practice, we'll walk through stuff in the ballroom, but zone is part of it every day.
Over the course of your career, Doc, how many times has a strategy like a zone defense, what you've been running the last week or so, evolved out of necessity during the course of a season?
Well, I think it's always, for the most part. Though we came in the year running zone, we worked on it every day. Every single day since the season started, I bet we do a segment of zone. And early on, we wasn't running much of it at all. You have to get a comfort level with it as a coach before you start doing it. And but I do think, over my career, a lot of things come out of necessity. You see things, injury. It could be any reason, and you got to have the courage to make a change.
How much does Jason help you with that? Considering that
Jason's good at it, but we're going to do it regardless with Jason or not. But he's good at it. I don't know if he helps us, but he's good at it.
How about teaching the other guys, though?
It's different zone. We're not running the same thing that they ran, but he still just knows. He's instinctive with it because he's done it for so long.
Doc, out of necessity, you added a couple of guys with 10 days. Those 10 days are coming to a close. Just your sense on what those guys have done to help or hurt their cause?
Well, neither. I mean, they haven't played a lot. We haven't had a lot of practice. So, but I think, they both belong. I mean, they work hard at it. They're great in the locker room. I mean, but other than that, honestly, I haven't really given it a lot of thought.
Right, and knowing that they're not obviously part of your core, how do you go about gauging whether or not these guys are worth keeping?
You just go by feel or whatever. Honestly, I haven't thought about it much. I like them both, and we'll see.
Is there a point in this season where a game like this with 2 teams that are close in the standings takes on added importance, or you try to separate them?
Well, I'm sure it does. I mean, I haven't talked about it because I don't do that a lot. Sometimes I do, some I don't. But I think both teams understand where we're both at, and that all our games now are important. I don't think there's another game this year that's not important. It's just that close with everybody. So that's great. That's what I said I liked about the way we did the All-Star break. We've been doing that lately anyway, but I just like it when you come out of the break now. It's a sprint, and everybody kind of, is in it, and it's good.
When players and coaches say they don't look at the standings, are they lying?
I would say most likely not. I don't. I looked at our record. I can't even tell you what our exact record is, but I know it's close with everybody else's record. That's how much I look at it. So I think it depends on the individual. I think later in the year I may at times, but right now we just got to keep getting better. So that's my focus.
The last time we played these guys, KYRIE hit 8 threes in the second half.
Yeah, if he does that again, they're going to win.
What's your awareness meter on him, and then how does a guy, when you, I'm sure, stressed in your defense during the game, don't let him get open? How does a guy get open for 8 threes?
Because he's good at it. He's a great spacer. It's the same reason when we had Eddie House, we bring him in and people on the other crowd, you can see, why he's coming in. And but if they're good at it, they're great at spacing. They're great at If you turn your head, they're reading you. They move to the right spot. I mean, he scored 3 of those threes in transition where you could just see him floating to a different spot that he started out in. And if you're not focused on him, he's going to get it off.
Does running the zone help you jam him when he's trying to run curls like around the baseline?
It does, but I think zone is dangerous with a guy like him because he's going to end up getting a shot. You know, the one thing, we may run it or may not, but he would be a very dangerous guy. There's certain guys that have the quick trigger that you'd have to be very good in your zone to run it with them on the floor.
Are you very good in your zone to run it on the
It
floor?
depends on each night. You know, it really does.
What's your reaction to Austin's injury?
The bummer. I thought he was playing great. You know, over the last 6 weeks, you know, he was playing terrific, and they were keeping him on the floor. And you know, but you know, the good part about it is now he knows he can play, and he knows he can play well. I mean, he was 5 for 5 before he got injured, and then he took one shot with a broken hand, which tells you his mentality right there. He thought he could make it, but you know what happens, and it's late enough in the year, and they're not going to the playoffs that, you know, I just think it was important for him to be able to get it going before. You know, if that hadn't happened, then it would have been a tough injury. But now it's just another injury.
In a row at home now, Doc. The biggest difference for you guys playing, is it the defense? Is it the variety?
You know,
of
I wish I could put my finger on it. Most nights, yeah, it's the defense. But there's been a couple nights we've been bad defensively in won games. You know, yeah, every night I think we've come in with the right spirit to win. Now, whether that means it's going to be a great defensive game or offensive game, I can't tell you. But I think we've had very few nights where that doesn't mean we play well, but where our guys wasn't ready to play. And I think that explains it more than anything. Thank you.